Cannabis.
Sativa.
Dope.
Indica.
Weed.
Leaf.
This is Leaf Life.
All things cannabis for all people.
Now, here are your hosts, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf, and it's available in print in 13 states at your local cannabis retailer and also available online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, and I'm your host of Leaf Life with my beloved co-host, Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And look at that, there's Stash.
The token female.
And what would we do without Mary J. White?
The smoking female.
Welcome to the second half of this Leaf Life show called Drinkable Edibles. In just a moment, we'll get into lounges and beyond and how drinkable edibles are a growing reality for how we will consume cannabis in the future. And we'll spin Stash's wheel to see what products Matthew Preston, who is the founder and owner of FRACTAL Infused, which makes MOJO Sodas, Mother Pucker Lemonade, and Sparkle, an infused sparkling water, this show's Greg the Guinea Pig is going to be trying next. But first, it's time for Who Does That?
Really? You gotta be kidding.
No way.
Seriously? Utterly perplexing. Who does that?
Is the name Wes Abney, Mary, by the way?
No, but it's close. It could have been Wes.
Yeah.
This could have been Wes.
I'm nervous.
He does that.
I know.
He did that.
I do lots of things.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
you do. I don't think you've done this, though.
Okay.
Because this is in Florida. And according...
Florida man.
Or Wes.
Okay, now is it Brevard County or Brevard?
Brevard.
Okay, according to Brevard County
Yeah.
Sheriff's Office, Deputy Scott Stewart and his canine partner Jake, they were screening passengers at Port Canaveral. They're getting on the Norwegian Epic. Okay, big damn fucking ship.
Hey, I used to work on one of those.
Yeah.
I was a DJ on the Norwegian cruise lines out of Miami.
Oh my God.
I was 23 years old.
This could have been you.
I got fired in 3 weeks.
I bet you did.
This is me. Yeah, you got it, man. That's me.
Anyway, so Jake is the 3-year-old drug-sniffing golden retriever, okay?
Narc.
Well, Jake started having real problems with his balance. He started tipping over. He had like a seizure kind of a deal.
Aww.
Yeah, they had to give him Narcan. Turns out that Jake was stiffing the baggage of somebody named Bennett. And this Bennett asshole had a whole huge bag full of ecstasy and amphetamines and the thing that you need the Narcan for. And all the dog did was sniff it.
Wow.
Right? So he's okay. Jake's okay.
Why doesn't that work for Wes?
I don't know. But Wes,
He actually has to sniff it.
yeah.
I generally don't snort my
Has to snort
drugs.
it.
Sniff him.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Bennett's in jail, and Jake is okay. But just so you know,
Thank goodness.
And
Watch
what
your
about
drugs.
Brevard?
Brevard. I'm not visiting there anymore.
Far out.
Brevard.
Who does that?
Yes.
Damn drug smugglers taking out dogs? That
I
ain't
know.
cool, man.
No, it
They're
ain't cool at all.
leaving to go on a cruise. Like, why do you need to screen them leaving?
I know, right?
Like,
Let him
it
have
just
his.
sounds like a fun cruise. You
Can
got
you
some
imagine, though?
I'll say this.
amphetamines for the daytime and, some
Whatever.
opiates for the
Nighttime.
nighttime. Like, yeah.
Now they want you buying their booze, Wes.
That's
Oh,
true.
God, no, thank you.
When I worked on the cruise ship, I was the DJ. And I remember, you have the big welcome ceremony. Hey, everybody, this is the staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the cruise director and such. And there's Mike, the DJ. And right after this couple comes up and goes, hey, man, we've got some microdots of LSD. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, So later, like that night or whatever, they gave me one. My buddy and I ate them. And needless to say, we were climbing the mountain of suitcases that had yet to be delivered out to the hotels or whatever, and knocking on doors, door dashing, and it was out of control, man. It was just the beginning. Trust me, I lasted 3 weeks on that thing. They kicked me out.
No shit.
Beat it. That was the best job I ever had. I was so sad. Anyways, Mary J. White, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Now let's spin Stash's wheel and see what Matthew's going to be hitting next. Stash. Boom. Stash had to reach over the
There we go.
rubber arms.
Nice.
I have another Nug Jug from Moca.
Your
Moca
lucky
Modern
day.
Cannabis.
It's your lucky day, Stash.
I know. This one's the lemon pepper. Same box, same awesome box if you're
Nice.
watching on YouTube. If you're not, you should.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
Lemon
it's sealed,
You see the box,
too.
Stash?
I like that.
There. Now,
Sealed for freshness.
so smart. You know, a friend of mine had some cannabis that she had jarred in 2018, sealed it, and we opened it up the other day, and it was glorious.
That's the thing.
Just fresh.
In a bag, it's bad in about 30, 45 days.
Yeah.
You know, because stuff gets through the bag, and also the bag can leach the plastics into the weed.
That's delicious.
So
But
good.
mason jars were designed to keep, you know,
Food fresh.
3 winters ago's, you know, stuff, or 3 springs ago's tomatoes.
Yeah.
Or Grove bag.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But any bag won't hold weed long term.
Truth.
It's got to be in glass.
Yeah, glass is the stuff. Boy, that
Thank
smells
you, Moca
good.
Modern Cannabis.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
That was
Beautiful.
so good.
Good weed, hey, Matt?
That's great weed. That tastes really good.
Far out. That weed is what you're going to be smoking in a consumption lounge in West Hollywood in the future, brother.
I look
As
forward
we
to it, yeah.
look to lounges and beyond. You know, drinkable edibles are a way, obviously, probably the best way to socialize while you're chilling and getting stoned. So it is the wave of the future.
I think so, and it would be great to have like a Mojo on tap that you can go into in a lounge, and we could just pour you a glass of it, and then that way, you know, it seems like a no-brainer when people are out, like you talked about, they want to have a beverage, they're used to drinking and getting some sort of buzz from it. It's a perfect fit.
And isn't it the highest climbing demographic or product in the cannabis industry right now?
It is a year over year. It grow. I mean, it's still a very small segment of the market, under 3%. But at the same time, it started much lower than that, and every year it does increase by quite a bit.
And where is it now?
It's in Washington State. It's 2%.
2% of the sales?
2% of sales. Yeah.
That's a crowded space because there are a lot of drinkable edibles and not enough people drinking their edibles. How does that change?
I think it changes. We were talking about that low dose, and I do think there's a consumer for it. And
you guys were laughing at me.
See, but there's it's an entry point so that people can try it. Right?
Will you make me some 100 milligrams with a 10 milligram label on there?
Would you do that for me too, please?
No, but 2.5
We're gonna secret dose
milligrams,
them.
and you've got a buzz. It's like smoking a J for someone like me. You're not off. You can drive, you know, and you feel good and you feel happy. 10 milligrams for me. And again, I'm in the psych ward. It's just, maybe of course our endocannabinoid systems are different. Everybody's is different. Mine has way less tolerance, but I can do dabs, all day. Right. But somehow the drinkable edible, and it processes differently. And that's why, right? It processes in your liver.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, drinkables don't. It goes straight through your stomach lining, which is why you're getting high in 10 to 15 minutes rather than like an edible that has to break down and go to your liver.
Well, and because of that, then you're not dealing with Delta 11, right? You're still dealing with Delta 9 THC.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Explain that, Mary, please.
There's when cannabis, and correct me, but when the cannabinoids enter your system, once they go through the liver, it's a different process. And the Delta 9 THC is then metabolized into Delta 11, which is a little stronger, a little different than Delta 9, which is why you stay higher longer with edibles.
Yeah, that's correct. You get 2 extra molecules when you do an edible, which is why people like edibles. So a lot of that accounts for like the body high that you get with them.
Yeah.
And there's also some people who don't get high from edibles, traditional edibles.
Yeah. Right.
And it's been theorized that their bodies don't convert them.
Yeah.
Because there's a small but significant statistically significant amount of people who can eat like brownies all day and they won't get high.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, if they try a drink that's going straight through their stomach, or they try transdermal, or they take a dab, they're fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Like Ricker said, every body is different.
Because honestly, Ricker, I am not doing any dabs. I did that once. That's it. Never again. Right. But when I started using cannabis as medicine, I only used edibles because I didn't want to smoke.
Right.
So now 100 milligrams to me is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Jeez.
Well, it's not good though. I mean, for me to use edibles, I have to spend all kind of money or eat all kind of butter and do all kind of crazy shit. So I don't do it.
Yeah. When, I was sick this year with pneumonia, and Mary brought me some beautiful soup that healed me and a little pack of her homemade edibles. And I'm telling you, I take gerbil bites of that shit.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I don't want to get too high, man. Then I'm not having fun. I want that perfect little place where you're you're sitting on the precipice of the planet, on a throne, and you're just like, my God, everything is clicking right now.
Life is great.
You got to keep it going too. Another little nibble, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the day. Like I'll eat 1 10-gram or 10 milligram edible throughout an entire day. And that's why drinkable edibles scare me. That a lot of them come with a shot glass that has a measuring cup, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't get too fucking high. Because let's be real, the biggest problem that exists in the cannabis world, Wes is making fun of me, crying.
We love you.
The biggest issue with cannabis is with edibles. When people go overboard on edibles, next thing you know, a guy jumped off the balcony or whatever. Well, no, what else was going on? But people do freak out. That's where you see the 911 calls. I think I'm dying. How much did you eat? We ate 3 brownies or whatever. And
just go
like
to
Wes
bed.
says, you wouldn't go drink a bottle of Everclear without knowing how much was in it. Why would you eat a package of edibles without knowing how many milligrams of THC is in it? But people are not educated all over the world about cannabis like they are with edibles. So you have to be really cautious. So when you've got a 100 milligram drink, you just want to take a sip and put that thing back in the fridge, right?
Well, and you can do that because everything does come with that dosing mechanism. We have a dosing strip on it rather than providing a cup or anything like that.
Which is great because you're not wasting plastic.
Yes,
Those
thank
shot
you.
glasses are, in my opinion,
Stupid.
just a waste of plastic.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like it. It's kind of like a oil level almost. It's just like you can see how much you've drank and how many milligrams. And I know a lot of people
dose
who
yourself.
will take a sip and get 10 or 20 milligrams, come back a few hours later, take another little sip, which is fun. Or you can pour just a little bit into a drink. So, when you're a cannabis user, you're in control.
Yeah.
We don't need the nanny state to tell us here's your little measuring cup.
Right.
We just need to be adults and say, okay, here's, the dose I want.
Yeah.
And ultimately everyone has a bad edible story.
Yeah.
So it's like, and just like everyone who drinks has ended up, bowing to the porcelain toilet. It's one time or another or many times.
Mad Dog 2020.
So it's like, I feel like weed gets that
Thunderbird,
that bad rep. It's like people get violently drunk on a Friday.
Right.
And then by Sunday, they're like, yep, football's on, but they have one bad edible experience. They're like, I can't ever do it again.
Yeah.
So I think the edibles kind of get a bad rap in that sense. But they don't kill you. They keep you healthy.
Right.
And, if you follow the simple rule of you can always drink more and not less, or eat more and not less, and start slow, you're going to have a good time.
The issue that I run into, and, teaching people dosing and stuff like that, is that people in our Western society are used to a doctor saying, here, this is 0.25, take this once a day. Well, when you have to trust your body to tell you what's right and wrong, we're not used to that a lot of times. So this is, I call it grandma medicine, but you have to pay attention, right? It's no one else's. You're it. You're the boss of you. Yeah. And so I'd like 100 milligrams now, please.
She's ready to party.
Ready to go.
And I do think that's why we don't have lounges yet. Because everyone's so scared. The regulators are so scared that everyone's just going to get wasted.
Well, what are you going to lay around? That's what you do when you get wasted. You just got to. What are we going to drive?
People can freak out in a lounge just like anywhere else.
And it's so hypocritical because we have bars that overserve and
that's true.
Whole bar districts.
Yep.
Where people drive home.
Yeah.
They're so scared for us to be able to have a lounge. But I think it is the future.
It's got to be.
It's like you order it by strength.
Yes.
And it's like maybe a 10 milligram cocktail is like $6, or mocktail.
Yes.
And then you want the 100 and it's like $18.
Okay.
But you can kind of choose your own adventure.
Yes.
And we're already doing that in our communities. You go to parties.
Yeah.
At our Leaf Bowl, we just had 10 milligram tropical fruit drinks being served. Some people came back for 2 or 3. Some people shared one.
Right.
Again, just responsible moderation.
Yes.
So that the people who didn't want to drink our free beer had something to enjoy.
Right.
And that for me is really important to provide.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you're all welcome here. Everyone gets to hold a cup full of something fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I see when I look at Mojo. It's fun colors. It's a fun label. You've got the sparkling water. You're pushing it forward. And that's what we need to do so that eventually we can have the freedom to do this in lounges as a community and celebrate together.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a social tonic, right? So, have a few glasses and get to conversating, talking about black holes or whatever.
Whatever. Well, and less drunk people is always good, you know, because drunk people, shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, stoners.
Yeah. And I hear that a lot. There are a lot of people who come up to me and say, I don't drink anymore because I found your sodas. And so,
Yes.
And I didn't expect that, but it's very nice to hear.
Word up. All right. Hey, Matthew, now it's time for you to play Heine Corona Wiser.
Okay. All right.
Now it's time to crack open some stats. And you tell us what we're pouring. This is Heine Corona Wiser.
Yeah, bro. What, Mary?
This is weird. Is this about beer?
This is not the Weirded Lorax, Mary.
Oh,
this
sorry. I
is
get
Heine
confused.
Corona Wiser.
Sorry.
Different game. I'm going to give you a statistic, Matthew, and you have to determine whether it's Heineken, Corona, or Budweiser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
These statistics were compiled by research conducted by Mindset Media involving 2,600 participants. So it's a real poll, Mary. It's a real study.
I'm believing it.
Okay, here we go. Number one, if you drink this beer, you are 58% more likely to have American Express cards, 45% more likely to be early adopters of new mobile phones, and 29% more likely to drive sports cars. Heineken, Corona, or Budweiser?
Heineken.
That's correct.
Yep, that's a fancy beer.
Right.
That's fancy.
All right, number two. If you drink this beer, you are 91% more likely than average person to buy recycled products and 38% more likely to own 3 or more flat screen TVs.
Thought he was going to say firearms. I was like, Budweiser.
I'm going to say Corona.
That's correct as well.
Damn, Matt, you smart.
And number three, if you drink this beer, you are 48% more likely than the average person to play the lottery every day, and 34% more likely to never buy organic products, and 100% more likely to own guns like the Bearded Lorax.
Yes, yeah. That's Budweiser.
That's correct, brother. There you go. Matt, hey, where can we find you on social media, bro?
You can find us at fractal.infused on Instagram.
Killer. And what about you personally? Instagram?
Yeah, Clazy Day Ceramics. You can find me. So.
Oh, my Clazy Day?
Yeah, I have an artist
that's
background, so I
Really?
do a lot of ceramics.
Do you
So.
throw pots?
I actually hand build most stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That's a real stoner right there. A dude that makes ceramics.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that throws pots.
Yeah.
Yep,
Hey.
that's some hippie shit right there.
Get in your studio and get high. That's right.
Matthew, we love you. We appreciate the support with the Leaf.
Yeah, thank you.
And we thank you for being on the Leaf Life podcast, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a wonderful time.
Wes, next week, the world's greatest grinder.
Oh, it's actually milling.
Ooh, nice.
Easy there, Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh.
Download this and all Leaf Life episodes at leafmagazines.com. You can listen to all Leaf Life podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, anywhere you enjoy your podcast, including YouTube. Just please subscribe at Leaf Life Podcast V2. Now here comes another episode of Stony Baloney, which is also available at leafmagazines.com. And please be kind to animals.
Your hosts for Leaf Life are Mike Ricker and Wes Abney. Leaf Life is produced by Mike Daly. Some of the music heard is provided by purple-planet.com. Every bit of cannabis you use is female, so please respect the ladies.
Leaf Life is brought to you by Leaf Nation, featuring Alaska Leaf, Oregon Leaf, Northwest Leaf, Northeast Leaf, Maryland Leaf, and California Leaf. On the shelf now in your local retailer.
Please stay tuned now for this week's edition of Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Watching sports is stupid. Bring up anything that has to do with people attempting to strategically advance a ball toward an advantageous area outlined by boundaries that will result in points on a scoreboard, and anyone non-competitive will look at you with the same blank expression as Garfield the cat. Time is precious. Great moments are few. So why would you knowingly squander them on such a blatant distraction from what is real and important? Big sigh. They aren't wrong. Millionaires flexing their dominance by out-celebrating each other has about the same importance to our lives as the contrived subplots in The Real Housewives of New Jersey. The bottom line is this. If you're spending time watching with the hopes that it will make your life better, you're really screwing up. Because observing fit people battling over a ball from the cushy living room sofa gives new meaning to the term lazy boy. So why is it so important to vicariously witness our territorial need for dominance through meaningless gladiator games? Well, there'd be little else to root for without sports. And singing shows, but that's another subject. Modernity has spoiled us to the point that this surplus of time we allegedly enjoy has allowed us the luxury that only royalty enjoyed hundreds of years ago, which was to sit and observe the toils of the less fortunate attempting to survive. You think this entertainment is free, but quite the contrary, as you are volunteering this free time to the exposure of beer and pizza commercials. And most people would consider that pointless when you could be walking on a nice trail, reading a book, or cooking a meal, or actually playing a sport. However, if you must watch sport, most non-competitive stoners recommend ripping consecutive bowls first with a friend, as it makes the nonsense tolerable. And to see who passes out first.
Stony baloney. Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker or Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug. There may be health risks associated with consumption of this product. For use by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children.